Good afternoon. After a very detailed presentation by Sri Jaju and a musical and intellectual presentation by my friend Rajesh ji, I think I'll have to do really hard work to make it very interesting. uh, I was just reflecting on e-Seva, and before coming to even e-Seva, I must make some comment on e-Seva. And this is in the perspective of me as a citizen, and to an extent wearing my Mastech hat, where I have seen a lot of large government systems that we have done worldwide. So it is in that context I am making these comments. I really honestly feel that the e-Seva revolution that has happened and moving to e-Seva now is something that we should really be proud of. And honestly, given the challenges that we have in government, and we know it ourselves from the private sector side, how difficult it is to implement the system. Just an hour ago, we heard from Sharmaji of Aadhaar. My dear friend Nandan Nilekani was saying to him, I believe that technology was easier, getting things done, implemented was the real tough challenge he is also facing now. So my really hats off to government and all the secretaries who are sitting here from various states for taking that challenge and moving up to this stage where we are. In spite of all the difficulties. And I'm making this comment, as I was saying, in the light of work that we do worldwide. We have done a lot of large systems for healthcare and congestion, etc., etc. But the things are much simpler there in terms of coordination. Systems may be complex, many times complex sometimes. But the issues of implementation at a ground level are really much less challenging by order of magnitude. Whereas in our country, for whatever reason, we all know how difficult it is to get things done, given the processes that we have, given the RTIs, given the, and some of our friends on the podium will also say, given that they have to deal with all of us in private sector. So the point I'm saying is, whatever they have achieved, they really need a big kudos from all of us. I sincerely feel that. Having said that, the comments that I will now make, of course, are to see how we can move still much ahead in whatever we have achieved so far. I think Shri Jaju presented to us the concept of e-Seva, which is really enlightening, I must say that, and I'm really excited to see what he's doing. And I'm sure all others will also take that up in terms of digitizing the certificates, signatures, and giving certificates at the point of service, doing all the services together. All these concepts are really were required in these services and which is already done. So some of the comments that I make may not be relevant in the light of e-Seva, but I'll still make those comments in terms of what needs to be done. I think first thing we need to do is, e-Seva is a good example, but I think each of the states also have done some interesting stuff. We need to consolidate that and share it and see how we can move it across. I don't see that happening as much as we would like to see. When we come to the events like this, we hear a lot of success stories. But then we need to see how we can move it and make it happen. I understand there are now a lot of conferences across IT secretaries, which is very good. Rajesh ji talked about what he is doing. Shasan tumcha dwari, that's what he said. So as I know Marathi very well, I could understand what he was saying. So that is the kind of concept which is very good. In Gujarat, I know there is village level entrepreneurship things that they have done. In Orissa, for example, most of their sales tax related issues are 100% online. I think there's so many things people have done, and we see it, of course, wherever we are involved, and some of you must be knowing many other stories. But there is no consolidation at a national level which can be done much better, so learning can be done. So that is one thing that I would suggest. But coming back to the citizen level to whom they have to serve, I have a few comments to make. In Mastech, we have what is called as, when we do e-governance project, we have some kind of framework that we look at beyond SDLC. What we say is we need to empathize, educate, enable and empower citizens, really, if we want to make e-governance successful. So if I look at it strictly from the viewpoint of, let's say, citizens, I think a lot more needs to be done on those four factors I still feel in eSeva. I think we look at eSeva and CSC centers. I'm sure we still have a problem of empathizing with citizens, which have a lot of issues in terms of power issues. It's so unfortunate that we are so ahead worldwide in IT, but we still don't have a power at the places in the village level. So I think, can we do some innovation there? Can we do something different so that there are various things being tried, but I still think there are challenges. And I know because I interact sometimes in place where I come from in some rural areas, the issues that they face. So some kind of empathizing is important. Educating is important. In that sense, I was just reflecting on our IT Secretary's comment of Mr. Satyanarayana that first we have to know how many people we are really using. That percentage itself will throw how far we are away from what we have to achieve. I don't know whether it is 10%, 20%, 5%, I have no idea. But if we have that data, at least we will realize that there are a large number of people who could use today the services but are not educated. They do not know that such services exist. They may not be knowing that they can use it. If they know, they still are worried of using it. There could be many issues. So I think there has to be the whole campaign of educating, and some of the issues that may be there in terms of usage may have nothing to do with technology and implementation, but just educating. I'm just saying, I'm just giving an example of my mother just as an example. I don't think she knows any of these services which are being done, although I am in IT and I may have been talking to him, but she has no clue. So point I'm making is there a gap, a large gap in terms of educating a citizen is the second point that I would like to make of eSeva's next frontier of making it successful. We have world-class services, we have done a great effort of doing that e-services, but people don't know about it. There may be a reason, in fact, at some stage to move a mobile eSeva centers or mobile CSCs. We need to move closer to the citizens. We say that we are closer, but in the cities, in the villages, we still have an issue of movement and challenges. You may be just, as someone was telling me yesterday, in some village they say you are just 2 kilometers as crow flies, but actually you may have to go all around because there is no bridge across a small nala or river which is there. So the poor fellow has to travel for 5 hours. So I think the whole issue of being close to them also is an issue, which will, the next point that I'm making, enabling them to use the services. We need to make a conscious effort by moving closer to the citizen, maybe through mobile vans, like we have done many other things in government services. That may be a good idea to move it one step ahead. The third part could be enabling part. The third part is about doing it yourself. I think we all know kiosks and many things that happen all over various services. We go and book our airport, we download our boarding pass, etc., etc. We all do that. Maybe we need to think of enabling citizens more in this eSeva services so that they themselves can start using it so that they become that much better in terms of e-services. Is the next frontier that we need to look at it. And the last part is empower. The empower part, I'm saying that we need to see how ultimately he or she is empowered to really use this service in some form by enabling, educating, and also doing all other things that I have talked about. So I think the whole issue of citizen has much long way to go, I feel. We have approached by technology many things. I think the next challenge is to involve citizens in a much better way, and there again technology can help per se, in the sense that we can talk about using technology to make some of these things happen. And I would strongly advise government to look into those areas. The next part I will go is the whole issue of challenges that are being faced by IT secretaries themselves, as I see it, as an industry player I have seen it. They put in their best effort, but they have a great challenge in terms of getting their departments who are providing services together. And some of these are contextual, some of them have nothing to do with government per se, and so on and so forth. But unless there is an integration at the back end of the department, some of these e-services will not be as effective. Even the best of technology and best of services that are done by departments. And I'm aware of many such cases. So I think, I don't know whether DT can do anything about it, but maybe you are already doing it, I don't know. But I think bringing together the actual departments, the departments of the government, I mean, to support IT secretaries and to us also when we start working on some of these projects is a challenge. For very soon the boundaries of what e-Sewa can do. So that is another boundary condition that I have in mind for e-Sewa, me-Sewa issues that we are facing together today. The next point I would like to make is about the back office system. And if Mr. Satyanarayana remembers in that closed door meeting we had, I was making that point. I think it's good to be talking about citizen services and e-Sewa, which is all good and we should do it. I mean, not one moment I would say anything against it. But I'm saying somewhere I do feel that back office systems, unless they are as good, unless they are robust, unless they are complete, unless they are done with a business process re-engineering, or Mr. Rajesh said that maybe they should be eliminated some of the processes rather than computerizing it. You do whatever you may, but unless the back office system are robust, we would not able to provide good e-service or me-service. And that boundaries we are reaching very far soon. I was just talking to my good friend who is well-known IIM Ahmedabad professor, Professor Bhatnagar. I'm sure all of you know him. He has done a pioneering work in the e-governance area. He was telling me that, he said, I went into a system, I don't want to name the system because the idea is not to point that particular system, it's a very national level system. He says, I took half an hour to get into website and get any response. I then decided to call the officer there and I talked to him and it got done so fast. The point I'm making is, some of the issues and some of the challenges of back office, whether they are in terms of speed is only one of the indicators. I'm just talking about comprehensiveness and other issues which are not handled properly. Some of these things can backfire because e-services citizen will go and find that he or she is not getting services that he wants in spite of best of the implementation at the front end. And I do see that challenge myself being closer to some of these systems. So my request to government departments would be to please seriously look at back office system as study. And this is from my experience again abroad where we have done. I think most of the time that we have seen that before going to citizen, they had a very robust back office systems. Really thorough, mission critical, robust back office system, and then e-services were really launched because they were far ahead of us in terms of providing citizen services or internet-based services. They worked for long years in terms of back office. So they had many years of IT experience. We don't have that, and we have now e-services possible, so we are doing it, which we should do. But somewhere down the line, the back office systems are not being so emphasized, I feel, and we need to look at all of the systems and all the issues there. I'm not going to get into the details. I think we have a lot of other speakers here to speak. So the point I'm making is please look at back office system to make it happen. The last point I would like to make about e-services is, I don't know how many CSCs are there in the country, exact number, but I think time has come now to scale it in terms of some innovative ideas. Some of them may be ideas that looks bizarre, but I'm saying should we do a CSR participation of private sector, where you tell private sector that this CSC is named after you as your contribution to society, and get them with the existing operators, but get them to fund it, or use those kind of funding to scale it up all over the place. That could be one way of doing it. That is one idea. The other idea is what you were talking, Mr. Satyanarayana, that we need to measure the numbers as well as quality. I think there was a great study done again with Mr. Bhatnagar in 2005-06 about, and he has written a nice book on it, if some of you have read. I think some of those studies we need to do at a national level to understand the impact of these e-services and now e-services in terms of all these issues of transparency, corruption, all that. What has happened now? Where are we? It's almost 5-6 years ago we had done that national study, which was, I think, financed by Department of IT and others, I don't know. But the point I'm making is we need a comprehensive study of continuously measuring not only numbers, as I said, but the quality and the impact. Because it is one thing to say we have X transactions, but how many of them are A-level transactions in terms of impact? And that itself may categorize some of them, is the point I'm making here. And then social audit of the system in terms of its social impact and in terms of many other things that it can do. So to summarize, what I would say is we have 3 blocks here. One is a big citizen block. We need to empathize, we need to educate them, enable them, empower them. So that's one big lot. Second lot is these whole IT secretaries and IT department. We need to empower them by making other departments work so closely and doing all these other back office issues, which includes back office systems, as I also said. That is second bucket. And the third bucket, as I said, is measurement, motivation, and also getting private sector more involved in terms of some of these movements, because these are social movements now. They are not just IT movement. This is a change in society. This is the change in the way we are making impact on society. So why not a larger participation of private sector into this whole movement, so that we are all partners in the making change happen with all the nice efforts that all our IT secretaries are making. So I think eSewa, MeSewa I see as a first step in that long journey that we are going to have. And wearing my private sector hat, of course, I must say here all of us, and I'm sure all of you in private sector who are here to support that journey. And I think we need to also look at it as a partnership, which is happening, but we can move it much ahead and make it as successful and understand that challenges and be partner there. With that, I'll stop. Thanks.